You ever noticed how certain people act weird around you? One minute they're friendly, and the next they're distant, annoyed, or even trying to bring you down. You didn't change. Your energy is just too high for them to handle. Narcissists, in particular, can't stand people like you. Your light exposes their darkness. Your confidence shakes their false sense of power. Your presence alone makes them uncomfortable. But why? What is it about your energy that triggers such strange reactions? See, narcissists feed off control, manipulation, and negativity. But you radiate truth, authenticity, and self-awareness. That's something they can't fake, and it terrifies them. They either try to bring you down or push you away because they know they can't control you. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why narcissists react so strangely to you and how your high energy disrupts their entire world. By the end, you'll understand why they fear you and how to protect your energy. Before we dive in, drop a comment if you've ever felt like people act weird around you for no reason. Let's build a community of chosen ones who uplift each other. And hey, make sure you stay till the end because I'll reveal the biggest sign that your energy is too much for narcissists to handle. Let's get started. Narcissists want to feel powerful. They build their world on control, making others doubt themselves so they can stay on top. But when you walk into the room, something changes. Your energy is different. It's strong, confident, and full of truth. This is something a narcissist can't handle. They spend their lives wearing a mask, pretending to be more important, smarter, or stronger than they really are. Deep down, though, they feel small, empty, and insecure. They don't want anyone to see that. So, they manipulate, lie, and twist reality to make themselves look better. But then you come along, and without even trying, you expose everything they are trying to hide. You don't fall for their mind games. You don't need their approval. You have a light inside you that shines too bright, and that light makes their shadows impossible to hide. They can feel it, even if they don't understand why. Suddenly they start acting differently. Maybe they get angry for no reason, avoid you, or try to bring you down. Here's the truth. Narcissists are not as strong as they pretend to be. Their confidence is fake, built on making others feel weak. But when someone like you comes along, someone who doesn't need their validation, someone who is secure in their own energy, they panic. They can't control you, and that terrifies them. That's why narcissists react so strangely around you. They sense that you see through their act. They know they can't manipulate you like they do with others. So they either try to make you doubt yourself, or they disappear because your energy is too much for them to handle. At the end of the day, their reaction is not your problem. It's their insecurity. Your energy is powerful, and the right people will be drawn to it. The wrong ones? They'll expose themselves. Narcissists love control. They twist words, play mind games, and create false stories to make themselves look superior. Their biggest weapon is manipulation, making others question reality so they can stay in charge. But when you enter the picture, something changes. You don't fall for their tricks. You see through the lies, and that drives them crazy. Most people get caught in their web of deception, unsure of what's real and what's not. But high-energy individuals like you operate on truth, not illusion. You trust your instincts, read between the lines, and recognize when something feels off. Narcissists can sense this, and it terrifies them. They know they can't control your mind like they do with others, so they react, sometimes with anger, sometimes with fake kindness, but always with the goal of breaking your confidence. Here's the truth. When narcissists realize they can't manipulate you, they see you as a threat. Their power comes from making people doubt themselves, but you stay firm. You don't need their approval, and you don't get sucked into their games. This makes them feel weak and exposed, something they absolutely hate. So what do? They try harder. They might guilt trip you, spread lies about you, or act like a victim to make you look like the bad guy. Anything to regain control. But deep down, they know they've lost. Your clarity, your strong energy, and your ability to see through deception make you untouchable. Narcissists don't know how to handle that, so they either lash out or disappear. Either way, you win. Narcissists spend their entire lives wearing a mask. They pretend to be confident, powerful, and superior, but underneath it all, they are full of insecurity and self-doubt. Their whole identity is built on illusions, carefully crafted lies that make them feel important. But when you walk in, something happens. Your energy is real, your confidence is natural, you don't need to pretend, and that shakes them to their core. When a narcissist is around someone fake, they feel comfortable. They can play their games, manipulate the situation, and maintain their false image. But when they're around someone truly authentic, someone like you, who isn't afraid to be real, it exposes everything they are trying to hide. They can't stand it. Here's the truth. Your presence alone is a reminder of everything they wish they could be. You are genuine. You embrace your strengths and weaknesses without fear. You don't need to lie to feel valuable. Narcissists, on the other hand, are trapped in their own deception. And when they see you, it forces them to confront the fact that their whole life is an act. That's why they act so strangely around you. Maybe they get defensive for no reason, criticize you, or try to make you feel small. Deep down, they know they can never match your realness, so they attack it instead. They might even pretend to admire you while secretly feeling threatened. But here's what they don't understand. You are not like them. You don't need to wear a mask to feel worthy. And that is why you will always have something they don't: true power. Narcissists live in a world of illusions. They build their identity on a fragile foundation, one that depends on making others feel small so they can feel big. They need constant admiration, control, and validation to keep their ego intact. But then you walk in, confident, secure, unshaken. And just like that, their illusion starts to crack. They've spent years convincing themselves and others that they are superior. They act like they know everything, like they are the smartest, the most important, the most powerful. But your confidence exposes the truth. It's all an act. They aren't as strong as they pretend to be. They aren't in control like they want everyone to believe. And the worst part? You don't need their approval to feel good about yourself. Here's the truth. Narcissists can manipulate weak minds, but they can't break a strong one. Your confidence is like a mirror, forcing them to see their own insecurities. It reminds them that their power is fake, that their superiority is just an illusion. That's why they react so strangely. Some will try to tear you down, picking at your self-esteem with subtle jabs. Others might pretend to admire you, but deep down, they resent the fact that they can't shake you. They might call you arrogant, difficult, or say you think too highly of yourself. But don't be fooled. What they really mean is, I can't control you and that scares me. Your confidence is not the problem. Their fragile ego is. And no matter how hard they try, they can't silence someone who knows their worth. Narcissists thrive in low-energy environments. They feed off negativity, fear, doubt, insecurity, and control. These emotions fuel them, giving them the power to manipulate and dominate those around them. But when you step into the picture, everything changes. Your energy is different. It's high, strong, and untouchable. And that is something they cannot handle. When you vibrate at a high frequency, full of confidence, self-awareness, and authenticity, you disrupt the very foundation of their existence. Narcissists are like emotional parasites. They need drama, conflict, and weakness in others to feel strong, but you don't give them that. You don't engage in their mind games. You don't react with fear or doubt. Instead, you stand firm in your power. Here's the truth. Your energy is like pure sunlight, shining on a creature that only survives in the dark. Narcissists can't absorb your positivity the way they do with lower vibrations. Instead of feeding them, your presence starves them. That's why they feel drained around you. Have you ever noticed how a narcissist suddenly becomes irritable, exhausted, or distant when they're around you for too long? They might even accuse you of being too much or claim that you are exhausting to be around. But the reality is, it's not you, it's them. Their system isn't built to handle high-frequency energy. Your light burns through their shadows, and their only way to cope is to pull away or lash out. They may try to bring you down to their level. They'll test you, looking for cracks in your confidence, hoping to drag you into an argument or make you doubt yourself. But when you refuse to sync to their frequency, they start losing their grip. They can't drain energy from someone who refuses to play their game. At first, they may try harder, criticizing you, twisting your words, or creating drama just to stir up a reaction. But eventually, they will either retreat or explode because your energy is too much for them to handle. Here's what you need to remember. Your high energy is your power. It's a force that naturally repels those who thrive in toxicity. The ones who belong in your life will be drawn to your light, while the ones who can't handle it will fade away. So if a narcissist feels drained around you, take it as a sign that you are operating at the highest level. You are untouchable, and they know it. Narcissists spend their entire lives running from their own pain. They bury their insecurities, hide their fears, and suppress the trauma they refuse to face. Instead of healing, they build a false identity, one of power, control, and superiority. But when you enter the picture, something dangerous happens. You remind them of everything they are trying to escape. Your confidence, authenticity, and high energy shine a light on the very wounds they have spent years hiding. When they see you thriving, being real, and living without fear, it triggers something deep inside them. They might not even understand why, but they feel uncomfortable, almost exposed. You force them to see the truth about themselves, and they hate it. Here's the truth. Narcissists don't just dislike you, they are deeply disturbed by you. Your presence reminds them that their carefully crafted image is a lie. While you embrace growth and self-awareness, they are stuck in the same cycle of denial and avoidance. Instead of seeing you as an inspiration, they see you as a threat. That's why they react so strangely. They might mock your confidence, criticize your choices, or try to find flaws in you. It's not because you are doing anything wrong, it's because you make them feel the emotions they've been running from their whole lives. Have you ever noticed how narcissists seem deeply bothered by happy, successful, or self-assured people? That's because deep down they are full of shame and emptiness. They have spent years pretending to be powerful, but when they see someone who is truly strong, someone like you, it reminds them of the truth. They are weak, afraid, and unhealed. But here's what they don't realize. Your success is not their downfall. Your light doesn't dim theirs. It simply exposes what they have been hiding. Instead of hating you, they could choose to heal. But that would mean confronting their own pain, and for a narcissist, that is the one thing they will never do. So they lash out. They try to pull you down, attack your character, or spread negativity, not because you are the problem, but because you are the mirror reflecting their deepest wounds. But here's the beauty of it all. You don't have to carry their pain. Their wounds are not your responsibility. Keep shining, keep thriving, and let them deal with the truth on their own. Narcissists are master chameleons. They survive by mirroring others, copying personalities, behaviors, and even emotions to blend in and gain control. Since they lack a true sense of self, They create a false identity by imitating the traits they see in others. This allows them to manipulate, gain trust, and appear more likable than they actually are. But when they encounter you, the game falls apart. Your uniqueness is something they cannot copy. Your authenticity, confidence, and high energy come from a place of deep self-awareness, something they have never developed. No matter how hard they try, they can't replicate your presence, and it leaves them feeling exposed and frustrated. Here's the truth. Narcissists can mimic the surface-level traits of others, but they can't fake true depth. They may try to copy your words, interests, or even your mannerisms, but something always feels off. Their imitation lacks the genuine essence that makes you who you are. Over time, people start to notice the cracks. They see that the narcissist's personality shifts depending on who they are around, while yours remains solid and unshaken. This drives them crazy because mirroring is their survival strategy. If they can't copy you, they can't control how others see them. They feel powerless. And when a narcissist feels powerless, they react, sometimes with envy, sometimes with anger, sometimes by trying to tear you down so no one sees your light. Have you ever noticed how a narcissist will suddenly take an interest in the things you love, only to twist them into something superficial? Or how they try to mimic your confidence but fail because their energy feels forced? That's because they are desperate to be what you naturally are, but deep down they know they can't. Your authenticity exposes their act, your originality makes their imitation look weak, and the more they struggle to keep up, the more they unravel. That's why they might try to discredit you. They'll say you're not that special, or act as if your talents and strengths are nothing extraordinary. But make no mistake, they wouldn't try so hard to copy you if they didn't secretly admire and resent what you have. At the end of the day, your uniqueness is your greatest power. No one can replicate it, and no one can take it away. And for a narcissist who thrives on illusion, that is their worst nightmare. Narcissists spend their lives constructing a false self, a carefully crafted persona designed to hide their deepest wounds, insecurities, and fears. They project an image of confidence, superiority, and control, but underneath it all, they are deeply broken. They refuse to face their inner darkness, suppressing their pain instead of healing it. But then you walk into the room, and everything shifts. Your presence disrupts their illusion. You radiate truth, authenticity, and high energy, qualities that shake the very foundation of their false reality. You don't have to say a word. Your energy alone is enough to make them uneasy. You force them to confront the parts of themselves they have buried, and they hate it. Here's the truth. Narcissists avoid real self-reflection because it would mean facing their own shadows, the trauma, the shame, the lies they tell themselves. But your energy is like a mirror, reflecting everything they refuse to see. You don't even have to call them out directly. Your mere existence challenges their false identity. This is why they react so strangely around you. They might suddenly become defensive, irritated, or even hostile. It's not because you've done anything wrong, it's because your light exposes the cracks in their mask. They might try to discredit you, mock your authenticity, or twist your words, all in an attempt to regain control over the narrative. Ever notice how narcissists surround themselves with people who feed their illusions? They carefully choose relationships that reinforce their false self, avoiding anyone who might hold up a mirror to their truth. But you don't play that game. You don't engage in shallow praise, and you don't fall for their manipulation. Your presence alone is a challenge to everything they have built, and that terrifies them. They will do anything to silence, discredit, or remove you from their space because your energy disrupts their carefully controlled world. They want people who make them feel powerful, not people who remind them of how empty they truly are. But here's what they fail to understand. Your light isn't the problem. Their refusal to heal is. Instead of running from their shadows, they could choose to face them. Instead of feeling threatened by your authenticity, they could learn from it. But that would require deep, painful self-work, something they are unwilling to do. So let them be uncomfortable, let them struggle in your presence, because the truth is, their reaction has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with the battle they refuse to fight within themselves. Narcissists can't handle what they can't control. When they meet someone with high energy, confidence, and authenticity, they don't see inspiration, they see a threat. They know they can't match your energy, so instead of rising to your level, they try to tear you down. At first, they might act impressed by you, even pretending to admire your strength. But the moment they realize they can't mirror or manipulate you, their true nature comes out. They start looking for ways to diminish you. This is when the attacks begin. They might gaslight you, making you question your own reality. They'll say things like, "You're being too sensitive. That never happened. You're imagining things. No one else thinks that way. You're overreacting." The goal? To make you doubt yourself, to shake your confidence so you start relying on their version of reality instead of your own. If gaslighting doesn't work, they'll try belittling you. They'll downplay your accomplishments, mock your ideas, or act like your success is just luck. They might say things like, "Anyone could do what you do. You're not as special as you think. That's cute, but it's not a big deal." Why? Because if they can make you feel small, they can feel big. And if belittling fails, they go for the most destructive tactic: sabotage. They'll spread rumors, twist your words, or create situations that make you look bad. If they can't bring your energy down, they'll try to turn others against you so you lose support. But here's what they don't realize. Every time they try to diminish you, they only reveal their own insecurity. A truly confident person doesn't need to destroy others to feel powerful. So when a narcissist tries to make you question yourself, stand firm, keep shining. Their desperation to break you is proof that your energy is something they'll never be able to match. Narcissists rely on guilt and shame as weapons of control. They know that most people will bend under the weight of emotional manipulation, adjusting their behavior just to avoid conflict or disapproval. But when they try these tactics on you, something unexpected happens. They don't work. Your high energy makes you immune to their guilt tripping. You don't carry unnecessary shame, and you don't allow others to define your worth. This frustrates narcissists because they expect their usual strategies to succeed. When they say things like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me," or "If you really cared, you would do what I say," they expect you to feel obligated, guilty, or ashamed. But instead, you see through the manipulation. You don't absorb their false narratives. This rejection of guilt is a direct challenge to their control. Narcissists need people who will internalize blame, even when they've done nothing wrong. They want you to feel responsible for their emotions, to believe that their anger or disappointment is somehow your fault. But because you operate at a higher frequency, you understand that you are not responsible for their feelings. Their attempts to weigh you down with shame fail because you know your own truth. This is why narcissists often become enraged or play the victim when guilt-tripping doesn't work. They might lash out, accusing you of being selfish, cold, or ungrateful. Or they'll flip the script entirely, acting hurt and distant, hoping you'll cave in and seek their approval. But no matter what angle they try, they keep hitting the same wall. You refuse to be controlled. Your energy is too strong for their games. You live in clarity, self-assurance, and emotional freedom. You don't need their validation, and you don't let their guilt traps dictate your actions. And that, to a narcissist, is the ultimate defeat. Narcissists crave power. They build their entire identity around control, controlling how others see them, how situations unfold, and how people react to them. But when they come across someone like you, someone with high energy, confidence, and authenticity, they feel something they can't stand. Powerless. Your presence alone disrupts their illusion of authority. They are used to manipulating and dominating people through intimidation, guilt, or charm. But you don't fall for it. You don't shrink in their presence, and you don't seek their approval. This makes them feel small, irrelevant, and exposed, things they desperately try to avoid. When a narcissist realizes they can't control you, their reactions become extreme. Some will turn hostile, lashing out in anger or criticism to break your confidence. They might spread rumors, undermine your success, or mock your energy as too much or unrealistic. Others will avoid you entirely, knowing that being around you only highlights their own weaknesses. They can't stand the reflection you cast back at them. Jealousy is another common reaction. Even if they won't admit it, narcissists envy the inner strength and freedom that you naturally possess. They see how others are drawn to your energy, how you inspire and uplift without manipulation. Deep down, they wish they could have the same authentic power, but instead of working on themselves, they choose to resent you. But here's the truth. Their power over others is an illusion. Real power comes from within, not from controlling people, but from mastering yourself. And that's exactly what makes you untouchable. They can try to undermine you, but they will never be able to take away the genuine strength and light that radiates from you. Narcissists hate losing control. And when they realize they can't manipulate you, they resort to one of their most toxic tactics, turning others against you. They know they can't break you directly, so they attempt to isolate you by poisoning the minds of those around you. This is called a smear campaign, and it's one of their most calculated moves. Narcissists are skilled at playing the victim and twisting reality to make themselves look innocent while making you look like the problem. They start subtly, dropping small, seemingly innocent comments to others, planting doubt about your character. It could be something as simple as, "I don't know what's going on with them lately. They've been acting really strange. I used to think they were a good person, but honestly, I'm starting to see another side of them. I just want to make sure you don't get hurt by them. I know things about them that you wouldn't believe." These comments are meant to create suspicion in others' minds without any direct accusations. Slowly, they build a false narrative where you are the villain and they are the misunderstood victim. And because narcissists are masters of deception, people often fall for it, especially those who don't know you well or are easily influenced. Once they've planted enough doubt, they escalate the attacks, they spread lies, exaggerate minor disagreements, and twist your words to make you seem toxic, untrustworthy, or even dangerous. They might accuse you of being jealous, selfish, unstable, or disloyal. The goal is to destroy your reputation so that others distance themselves from you, leaving you isolated and vulnerable. Why do they do this? To punish you for not obeying them. Narcissists see defiance as betrayal. If they can't control you, they want to make you suffer, to protect their false image. They can't control you, they want to make you suffer. To protect their false image, they can't let people see the truth about who they really are, so they shift the blame onto you. To maintain control over others, by making you look bad, they ensure that people continue to trust them instead of you. To trigger a reaction from you, they hope you'll lash out in anger, which they can then use as proof that you're the bad person they claimed you were. How to protect yourself. The most frustrating part about a smear campaign is that fighting back often makes things worse. If you defend yourself aggressively, the narcissist will use it to reinforce their lies, saying things like, "See, this is exactly what I was talking about." Instead, the best approach is to stay calm and collected. Your truth will reveal itself over time. Let your actions speak louder than their words. People who truly know you will see through the lies. Avoid direct confrontation. Narcissists thrive on drama. Don't give them the reaction they crave. Surround yourself with strong, self-aware people who won't be easily manipulated. In the end, truth always wins. Narcissists may be able to fool people for a while, but they can't maintain their facade forever. Eventually, their lies unravel, and the people they once manipulated begin to see through their games. So when they try to turn others against you, stand firm. Keep being your authentic self. The ones who truly matter will see the truth, and those who believe the lies, they were never meant to be in your circle anyway. Narcissists thrive on control and predictability. They carefully choose people who are easy to manipulate, those who seek approval, fear conflict, or second-guess themselves. But when they encounter someone like you, someone with unshakable energy, resilience, and a free spirit, they feel something they despise: uncertainty. Your energy is too unpredictable for them to handle. One moment, you're shining brightly, moving forward with confidence and purpose. The next, you're adapting, growing, and evolving, completely unfazed by their attempts to control you. This unpredictability throws them off balance because they rely on knowing how people will react, so they can manipulate situations to their advantage. Why do narcissists hate unpredictable energy? They can't anticipate your moves. Narcissists like to feel one step ahead of others. They observe people closely, studying their habits, emotions, and weak points so they can use them against them. But you don't fit their pattern. You're too fluid, too adaptable. When they expect you to react with fear, you stand firm. When they assume you'll seek their validation, you walk away without hesitation. This leaves them confused and powerless. They can't control your reactions. One of the narcissist's biggest weapons is emotional manipulation. They push buttons to provoke anger, guilt, or self-doubt because they feed off emotional chaos. But when they try to get a reaction from you and you respond with calmness, indifference, or even laughter, it completely disarms them. They don't know what to do with someone who won't play their game. They fear what they can't predict. Narcissists live in a world of calculated moves. They carefully craft their public image and manipulate relationships to maintain their control. But you don't operate by their rules. You embrace change, challenge norms, and refuse to be placed in a box. This makes you a wild card, someone they can't pin down, control, or manipulate. And that terrifies them. How do narcissists react to your unpredictability? They try to force you into a mold. They may criticize your choices, belittle your ideas, or pressure you to conform to their expectations. They spread rumors about you. Since they can't understand you, they convince others that you're too much or unstable. They test you with manipulation. If guilt-tripping or gaslighting don't work, they may shift tactics to see if they can find a weakness. They eventually avoid you. When they realize they can't control or predict you, they pull away because they can't handle the discomfort. Why your energy is your greatest power. Your unpredictability isn't a flaw, it's your greatest strength. It means you are free, independent, and unstoppable. You are not bound by others' expectations, and you don't need approval to live authentically. Narcissists may try to understand you, control you, or break you, but they will always fail. Because unlike them, you are not limited by fear. You embrace change, thrive in uncertainty, and move with purpose. And that's something they will never be able to do. Narcissists thrive in illusion. They build their entire existence around a carefully crafted mask, a false persona that hides their insecurities, manipulations, and lack of true self-worth. They lie to others, but more importantly, they lie to themselves. They convince themselves that they are superior, untouchable, and always in control. But then you come along, someone who sees through their act, someone whose energy is too sharp, too aware, too unshakable. You don't fall for their charm, their fake humility, or their manipulative tactics. You make them feel exposed, and that terrifies them. This is why narcissists react so strangely around you. One moment, they may act friendly, trying to pull you in. The next, they may lash out, avoid you, or try to sabotage you. Their reaction isn't logical, it's instinctual. You trigger something in them they don't want to face: the truth. Why do narcissists fear being exposed? Their entire identity is a performance. Narcissists don't have a stable sense of self. Everything about them is built on lies and manipulation, whether it's playing the victim, acting superior, or constantly shifting their personality to match the situation. When someone like you sees through their act, it threatens the very foundation of their existence. They can't handle reality. Narcissists spend their lives avoiding their true selves. Deep down, they are filled with insecurity, self-doubt, and fear. But instead of facing these emotions, they bury them under layers of manipulation and control. When you see through them, it's like forcing them to look in a mirror, and they hate what they see. They lose their power over you. A narcissist's biggest weapon is deception. They manipulate people into believing their version of reality, but you don't buy into their lies. You don't get trapped in their guilt trips, their flattery, or their attempts to make you doubt yourself. This frustrates them to no end. How do narcissists react when they feel exposed? They try to discredit you. Since they can't control your mind, they try to control how others see you. They may spread rumors, twist your words, or make you seem like the bad guy. This is called a smear campaign, and it's their way of protecting themselves. They become hostile or aggressive. A narcissist who feels cornered will often lash out. They may attack your character, insult you, or accuse you of things you never did. This isn't because they're strong, it's because they're desperate. Their false identity is crumbling, and they are fighting to hold it together. They play the victim. If outright aggression doesn't work, they may switch tactics and play the victim. They will claim that you are hurting them, misunderstanding them, or being unfair. They do this to make you feel guilty so that you back off. They avoid you completely. When all else fails, narcissists will distance themselves from you. They may suddenly go silent, ghost you, or pretend you don't exist. This isn't because they don't care, it's because your presence makes them too uncomfortable. Why this is a sign of your power. If a narcissist reacts strangely around you, take it as a compliment. It means your energy is strong, authentic, and unshakable. It means you are someone who can't be fooled, controlled, or manipulated. Narcissists fear the truth. They fear those who see past their lies, who don't fall for their mind games, who refuse to be part of their illusion. Your presence forces them to face the very things they've spent their whole life avoiding. So if a narcissist suddenly turns against you, don't take it personally. They aren't rejecting you, they are running from the truth you represent. And deep down they know it. Keep being yourself, keep shining, keep seeing things for what they are, because in a world full of illusions, your clarity is a rare and powerful gift. Narcissists crave control. They live for dominance, manipulation, and power over others. Their entire identity is built around keeping people under their influence, whether through charm, guilt, intimidation, or deception. They thrive when they can make others doubt themselves, seek approval, or become emotionally dependent on them. But then there's you. You don't seek their validation. You don't fall for their mind games. You don't bend to their control. You stand firm in your own power, your own truth, and your own energy, and that terrifies them. Why narcissists hate people? They can't control you. Operate on self-master. Narcissists feed off insecurity, self-doubt, and fear. They manipulate people by exploiting their weaknesses. But you've done the inner work. You trust yourself. You don't need their approval or their validation. This makes you immune to their usual tactics, and that frustrates them to no end. You don't react the way they expect. Narcissists love pushing buttons to get a reaction. They use insults, guilt trips, silent treatment, or passive-aggressive comments to make you feel small and powerless. But when you stay calm, unbothered, and in control of your emotions, it throws them off. They don't know what to do with someone who doesn't fall into their emotional traps. You see through their act. A narcissist's biggest fear is being exposed. They wear different masks to appear powerful, superior, or even helpless when needed. But you see through it all. You don't fall for the fake confidence, the victim stories, or the manipulative charm. Your awareness is dangerous to them. They can't dominate the conversation. Narcissists love to control narratives. They want to be the center of attention, the smartest person in the room, or the one calling the shots. But you think independently. You challenge their false reality. You ask the questions they avoid. This makes them feel powerless. You set boundaries and stick to them. One of the biggest ways to break a narcissist's control is by setting boundaries. And you don't let them cross your lines. When they try to gaslight, guilt trip, or manipulate you, you stand firm. Your ability to say no makes them feel weak because they realize they have no hold over you. How narcissists react. When they can't control you, they test you even more. At first, they may try harder to break you. They'll push your buttons, test your patience, or try new manipulation tactics. They want to see if they can find a weakness. They get angry and resentful. When they realize they can't control you, frustration builds. They might lash out, insult you, or act aggressively. Their anger isn't power, it's panic. They are losing control and they can't stand it. They smear your reputation. If they can't control you directly, they try to control how others see you. They spread rumors, twist your words, or make you look like the problem. This is their desperate attempt to regain power. They disappear or avoid you. Sometimes, when all else fails, a narcissist will ghost you. They can't handle being around someone who isn't under their influence, so they remove themselves. But remember, this isn't because they don't care. It's because your energy is too strong for them. What this means for you. If a narcissist fears you, take it as a sign of your power. Your self-mastery, emotional intelligence, and ability to stand firm make you untouchable. You are a force they cannot control, and that's why they react so strangely. Keep standing in your power. Keep trusting yourself. Keep being the one who cannot be manipulated. Because in a world full of control and deception, your freedom is a rare and powerful gift. Narcissists spend their entire lives running from the truth. They build their identities on lies, false superiority, inflated egos, and carefully crafted illusions. They convince themselves they are always right, always in control, and always the victim when things go wrong. But then you walk into the room, your energy is different. You radiate truth, self-awareness, and authenticity. You've done the inner work and it shows. You don't pretend, you don't wear masks, you don't play games, and that's exactly why narcissists can't stand you. Your presence is like a mirror, reflecting everything they don't want to see. Why narcissists avoid self-reflection? They fear facing their own lies. Narcissists survive by believing their own illusions. They tell themselves they're better than others, more deserving, more important. But when they see someone like you, someone who is truly confident, self-assured, and at peace with themselves, it shatters their delusion. Deep down, they know their confidence is fake and yours is real. You expose their deepest wounds. Every narcissist carries unhealed trauma, pain they've buried so deep that they don't even acknowledge it anymore. But your energy, your presence, your authenticity triggers something in them. It reminds them of what they've been running from. They can't handle being powerless. Self-reflection requires accountability, but narcissists hate feeling powerless, so they avoid looking inward at all costs. Instead, they project their flaws onto others. They blame, manipulate, and attack instead of taking responsibility. Your growth highlights their stagnation. You evolve, you grow, you learn from your mistakes. But narcissists, they stay the same. They repeat the same toxic cycles, cling to the same false narratives, and refuse to change. Watching you thrive makes them feel stuck. How narcissists react when you trigger their shadows. They get defensive and aggressive. When confronted with truth, a narcissist's first instinct is to fight back. They'll insult you, dismiss your words, or twist reality to make you seem like the problem. Their goal? To avoid facing themselves. They play the victim. Instead of admitting their faults, they'll flip the script. Suddenly, they're the ones who are hurt or betrayed. They'll act like you're the aggressor just because you refuse to enable their lies. They distance themselves from you. Some narcissists run. They avoid people who force them to reflect. If they can't control or manipulate you, they may ghost you, cut you off, or pretend you don't exist. But deep down, your presence lingers in their mind, forcing them to confront things they'd rather ignore.